Okay, my name's Sue. I'm 61 and I'm from Perth. And I came to Shalem because when I was at home just thinking I'd had enough of everything. Had enough of work, running around, all the noise. I just thought, right, I'll quit my job, all those things that we often go through. And then something said to me, no, what you need to do is reset. A lot of what you're doing is your own lifestyle. Because I used to previously live a pretty good natural sort of lifestyle, and I've always loved the bush. It's in my DNA to love the bush. And so I started to have a little look, a Google of where I'd like to go. And sure, there's plenty of high-end places that, promise you spas and all sorts of things, but I didn't want that. I wanted a more natural environment. And I wanted an environment that was going to get back to the absolute basics of how I should be living. And I just felt that this would be the right thing for me. And I wasn't wrong. Because since I've been at Shalem, I've only been here 4 days. But in that time, 3 days, 3 full days anyway. In that time, I have lost 3 kilograms, which... that's just a good side effect for what I wanted to do. I did pay for it in the beginning because I detoxed. I had a lot of headaches and muscle aches and things like that. But the staff were very friendly and helpful and said to me, it's not the end of the world. It's just you. We're here to support you, and they were. And there's other treatments that we can give you that will assist. Among those things, I had a clay bath with shower, which was absolutely beautiful. It was 2 lots of clay, one for my face, which had honey in it. I got to tell you, I did want to eat some of that. But, the food that they give you here is absolutely wonderful. It's vegetable-based and plant-based. And I felt for me that was important to say it like that, because when people talk about a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet, it sounds like some psycho new world thing. But when you talk about just eating from nature as nature intended, and the recipes from that Nicole could do, Nicole's just amazing in the kitchen. She made butter from cashew. We had some sauce this morning which was cashews and pear mixed together. And then you have you don't starve. I don't want you to think that you starve when you come here, because you don't. You just eat really healthy food, smoothies and things. And it's getting back to how we used to be so many years ago. There's also the steam baths. You have a steam, spend time in the steam room and then have a cold shower, which is it's a hydrotherapy type of thing that's done. And Benji's excellent with that. Every time I had a headache, Benji would be the first one there with the little rubber ducky in the bowl saying, here's the hot water, hot water, cold water, hot water, and every time it fixed my headache. You also have Noel, of course, Noel's the one who runs it at the beginning. When you come and speak to Noel, he takes all your measurements, your heart rate, all the sort of healthy medical baseline data that you need to have. And then from that, he will check in on you, and he makes a bit of a program around what your issues are. Like for me, it was definitely detox and weight loss. I had a few sore spots that had to be worked on. Shower is the masseuse here. She does an absolute excellent job. We also have Andy here, who is more solid with his technique, but it's a very specified technique. He can feel, he just intuitively knows where all your knots and things are, so he gets out of that. And of course, there's the comfort of the living here. It is just so close to nature. And we go for our morning walk. You can see the mist rise across the water. Lots of bird life, animal life. And whilst we're out doing that, you've got a background of people who are keeping everything milling over. Like, we couldn't have our fire in the morning or our steam baths if we didn't have people like Calvin and Chris and Calvin's son. So I can't remember his name. Caleb. And Caleb, of course, who are chopping the firewood. Then you've got Emily, who's helping her mum in the kitchen. And you have Julia, who's helping do things in the kitchen and who made us feel very welcome when we arrived. And then we also have, who else do we have? There's been so many people. Oh, then we had visiting people that came in and helped with massage and with counselling. I was very lucky to have Jill to have a chat to. But I know the boys had a man called Ross, and he was a good person to talk to as well. So how do I feel now? Well, the first day I came here, I cried. The minute I got out of the car, I cried. And it was such an overwhelming thing because I felt like I'd made it. I'd finally came to do what I had to do. And it was just a very nurturing environment to allow me to strip away all those things that are preventing me from leading a life, and that is a life that God has meant for us to lead, the life that we're meant to have. Thank you, Shalem. I go home with a whole lot of new things, and I feel so good that I'm not going to let go of them, because if I do, I'll just have to keep coming back here, which is not a bad thing. But I'm sure you'd like to see the back of me. So thank you. Wonderful.